Okay. Good evening, everyone. What else can I say? I'm sure everyone is expecting to see Abby today, but unfortunately, she's just a little under the weather. She's indisposed today. But she might catch up with us later and join the show, just to make a guest appearance to make me feel happy because I really, really tried to beg her to come on, but it just wasn't easy for her. It was really, really difficult. So, yeah, okay, let me quickly add Bumi. Bumi is around today, so I'll be giving Bumi her general salute welcome.
Hey,
Welcome to the show.
thank you, thank you.
How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I've been working like
Can
a
you hear
dog, but I'm finally free for a few minutes.
me? Can you hear me very well?
I can, but I was talking while you were talking, so I may have missed what you said.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just asking if you could hear me clearly. That's all.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Uh, for you, people like you, no matter what you do, you always look good, whether you're stressed or whether you're feeling fine. Or no one can ever tell.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you guys
I
are
thought
very
my parrot
special.
from Alo.
No, okay. Your people will say it on the comment section now. I was about to start telling everybody how my own day went. Well, I don't know. Today we had a very nice weather today here in Cape Town, so everything was so nice. I went to go and see my doctor. She gave me a nice report. I was very happy. I do this like checkups once in a while, and I took a long walk. And what else happened today? I just loved the weather because it was so relaxing.
You're in
You know,
Cape
we're
Town? Why did I think you were in
yes.
Nigeria?
Why would you? Okay, fine. Yeah, some people make that mistake. No, I'm in Cape Town actually. I'm actually
I
in Cape
didn't
Town.
know. I thought you were in
Ah,
Nigeria.
but you've
Wait,
not been to South Africa before.
no, I haven't. Then they take flights for South Africa too.
No, actually,
That
what happened? No, it's not like we have like there's a nuclear power plant, right, that they rely on here. So unfortunately, because they are doing maintenance and one other story with their dam in Zambia had a fault, so they had to compartment the sharing formula and deduct 2 hours from us. But they tell us before time. We know we see the charts.
okay, so you
So
can
we
you
can
can
plan.
schedule your life accordingly.
But they are done now, so we are fine. We're back to regular scheduled uninterrupted power supply. So that's why you
A
can
cool
see me.
vibe.
So tell us now what happened now. What happened to you today? How are you today? Your
Who
day?
me?
Yeah, how has your day been?
Uh it's been a good day. Um, I'm a developer, and the stuff I was
Oh,
working
you're into
on,
IT? Are you into
stuff I was
IT
working on.
or
Hmm?
are you into IT or real estate?
No, IT.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, and it's very
I'm also a
stressful.
developer.
Okay, good. So it's very stressful when your shit is in testing. And the last 2 weeks, my shit has been in testing. I mean, there've been days where I didn't even get a chance to shower. Anything. I just eat
Oh,
whatever's around. The stress is so much. And today, the tester finally said everything is fine and it's going to production. So today's the first day that I feel like I can relax in like a few weeks now. So it's a good day. There seems to be a delay in this thing. Maybe I should log on and log off and log back on.
Yeah, I'm noticing the delay too,
No.
but it's fine. At least we can see that shouldn't bother us. We can still go ahead. At least can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear
So
you properly.
let's dive straight into the topic. Mm, another one from your stables. From your stable. Another
Only
nice
mothers
one.
are
So
interested in this kind of topic.
I've got two girls, so I'm very, very much interested.
Okay,
I'm
good.
very protective of them, so I'm very much interested. So, okay, let me start with my own opening remark on the situation. I'm one of those parents, I, yeah, I might sound old school. I don't believe kids should be playing with phones connected to the internet till they get to a certain age. Like, preferably, if you ask me, I would say 14, 15. Because, yeah, we're both developers, so we know how the internet works and all that. There are times where I've actually, like, there's a time I was experimenting with Tor browsers, and I was trying to understand how they do their own back end because when you get bored with doing regular PHP and you just want to see what else is out there. So like 5 years ago, I started exploring and I stumbled into the dark web and the kind of things I saw, not so nice. And I stopped seeing the world as I stopped being naive. That's the truth. I stopped being naive because these things were happening in first world countries, not even in Africa. Like the things I saw were happening in first world countries. And I saw how easy it is to lure a child from the home, just from, establishing contacts and relationship with a child over the internet. I saw how easy it is, to lure kids out, kidnap them, and the next thing you see, they start putting posters on trees missing. And they usually never find those kids. They're gone. They're gone. The missing, gone. Or they find them with missing body parts. And this is the thing. People keep thinking that it's only in Nigeria they do Africa. Sorry, they think it's only in Africa that they do all these ritualistic models. But no, I saw a lot. And I was watching movies and documentaries, crime documentaries, just to see whether I saw fiction or it was real. And these
Mm,
things are real.
yeah.
These things do actually occur. And not just kids, even adults, the way we interact on the internet. God save us. A girl meet boy, you don't know the guy from Adam, you're going to see the guy, you don't tell anybody where you're going to, you don't leave any address or the tracking information, you just bounce. The next thing, the person gets raped or beaten up or even murdered and thrown away. You know, these things, and I think they became more prevalent when people start having easy access to, untraceable access to the internet. So personally, I just feel a child has to be like 15, and not just being 15 or 14. I think before that time, when the child is 10 years old, you should start giving lectures, start warning, let them, and the lectures should strictly be about the bad side of internet or social media. Because aside this kidnapping and all, there's also bullying, cyber bullying. Yes, we that come from Nigeria were jacked, so we feel that we're impervious to these things. But
Such things.
yeah, yeah, but to some large extent, yes. But some people, as you see, and this is funny, there are people I knew from childhood that they were strong-willed. They had a very tough mind. Like nothing moved them. From primary school to secondary school, these guys could face anything. But I realized that as they started growing up and they started becoming westernized and traveling around, they became softies and all that. In fact, there was one we knew like 10 years back. The guy committed suicide over one irrelevant stuff. And thank God, it's not just in Africa. You see all over the world, especially Japan. Somebody does something that they feel is dishonorable. The next thing,
Suicide.
I'm just going to suicide. Or did you watch the Dave Chappelle special when he was talking about the transgender friend he had that defended him on Twitter?
Yeah.
Then the transgender community descended and
On
bullied
them.
the
Notice how they
and the
didn't say
person.
anything about that till she committed suicide. Yeah.
And even after committing suicide, because I had to go back to what's the name? I went to Twitter to go look it up. The woman's tweet, the last one, is there. Everything Dave Chappelle said was true. So you know what happened? Immediately after the special, everybody that insulted her went back to that account and started deleting their
This is the
comments.
comment.
Yes, because from is it 5,000 or something, the thing dropped immediately after. So I'm like, this thing is real. You know, somebody can actually bully you. For me, I don't give a rat's damn about anything on the internet because I don't believe the internet is a real place. So you can say anything you like about me. I really don't care. But people are not like that. So the cyberbullying does exist. So that's what I'm trying to establish here. So we need to enlighten our kids about things like that and all that. I think I've said too much. I've even spoken words. Okay, so let's give you the floor and hear what you have to say.
No, you made excellent points. I agree with you completely. The first issue was the first issue you mentioned, which is how to keep our children physically safe.
Yes.
And the internet makes that extremely difficult. If somebody is a bad player, a pedophile, and they want to lure or groom a child, the internet makes it easy for them. And so you're absolutely right about that. That is a danger that is unique to our time. It's never existed before. When we were kids, we used to be scared of gomo. That's what we called kidnappers in Ibadan back in those days. But that was a physical man that you hope that you don't jam, so he doesn't catch you. You know, he's not the one that he's on your machine, pretending to be 13, talking to you for 3 weeks. You just tell him which high school you go to. From that, he figures out where you live. From that, you know, all this shit is available to them now that was never available before. And parents must be aware and they must protect their children. You know, because a lot of times a child who gets caught up in this kind of thing thinks that they're talking to somebody their own age. You know, they're not aware. It's not like they're being bad children that they just wanted to. We're not talking about ones that want to sneak at a major boyfriend. No, these are like we're talking about really young children who do not know that these kind of people exist. You know? So,
but kids are always inquisitive, and
the thing about technology that has always been problematic is that it's as good as it is bad. You know, so even if you say, my kids are not having phones till they're 15, go to school now and they'll say that, well, you need your phone to do this exam. We're expected to have access to Google. And you're like, what? I'm trying to keep my kid away from this. But technology has usefulness, but it can also be used for nefarious things. And that's always been the problem with technology. I can hear my own voice echoing back to irritating. So this is the challenge for parents. You can't just do a hard stop. We're not doing it. No technology for you. But at the same time, it's complicated. You can't just give them unrestricted access. Because aside from physical danger, which is the first thing that you mentioned, we now know for a fact that when young teenage girls especially spend too much time on social media, they get depressed. They have issues with self-esteem. They have issues with anxiety. And that's just across the board. Not everybody's going to get bullied. Not everybody's going to get lured. But literally every 13-year-old girl, you're allowed to just expose themselves to social media without restriction, can end up with body image issues, self-esteem issues, issues with mental health, severe anxiety, depression. I mean, these are facts now. You know, no parent should be allowing the teenage daughter unfettered access to things like Instagram. So
Yeah. Well, oh, sorry. Shout out Django Fett. Yeah, it's actually my cousin. it's,
hello.
he's greeting from England. Hello. Stay around, okay? Because this thing is going deeper, right? Like as I promised. So, like the body shaming part, I even skipped that part while I was speaking. That's another thing. You remember while we were younger, it used to come from glossy magazines that like these international. How do they call these magazines again? This the top of
Um,
the range.
a
Forgotten.
fashion magazine.
Like the lifestyle fashion magazines.
Yeah.
You open the page, the pages you open, the more you feel you're ugly, you're not in shape. For the guys, you don't have six packs, your biceps and all that. You're not looking good and all that. And they psychologically drive it into our brains like this is the physical standard now for human beings. If you don't look like this, then you should find yourself to Mars or somewhere else. But you don't belong here. So that in itself had a way of conditioning people's minds as to how they should live their lives. And it was still manageable because if you didn't want to be bullied or if you didn't want to feel useless with yourself, you might as well not buy that magazine, right? Now it's on your face. It's in your face now on the internet. We have people now. We're not even talking about real models anymore. We have people who look as shapeless as I am, go to Photoshop and touch up themselves and present themselves to be who they are not. Thereby,
It's terrible. Even people who are already beautiful, they're looking for perfection. So everything you see on social media is this unattainable ideal. But worse, much worse, and why so many studies have been hyper focused on Instagram specifically, is because of the algorithms. They created an addiction. It's like, the lights make you come back. This is not like the magazines now where you can just put them down. It's like
yeah,
fucking crack now. You open it and you're immediately sucked in.
it's in your face. And guess
Exactly.
what?
13-year-old
Guess
children.
what?
That's what the children are doing.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. There was a time like 2 years back when I just entered Instagram. I had only like how many followers? There were so few, and it became so boring for me because there were so few. So I couldn't see enough feeds to enjoy Instagram. So I was like, okay, what should I click? So I started clicking all these ladies and guys that were into fitness and body fitness and all that. So over time, while maintaining these followers, I followed them. Some followed back. While maintaining them, I didn't realize that I started getting, I started catching up. I started knowing what to do. Then over time, these people from being fitness instructors, I don't know, maybe they started nursing the ambition to become porn stars. I didn't even know like the gym wears they make today. Oh my goodness. The gym wears they make today. Some will say, "Oh, I'm teaching you how to squat to get nice butts." Then, what you're wearing, it would have been better you just wear a G string so that we know that okay, you're naked. But they're wearing all that with skimpy wears and all that. And when they do these things and emphasize on these body parts, they stylishly avoid places where they are imperfect. They just focus on that. Anytime they post, it's always that side. Anytime they do anything, it's always that side because they know if they flip to the other side, it's not going to look nice. And here am I, like another person, like, I'm really disappointed in myself. Can you imagine? Is this guy not a human being? Just see how he looks, or look at how she looks like. He's like feeding. Now, this is me, an adult. Then imagine a child that, that doesn't even know anything. She's supposed to be focusing on her books or whatever it is that is supposed to, take her to the next level in life.
Mm-hmm.
She abandons it and picks a role model from one of these funny characters. And guess what? There's a profession they call Insta blog, Insta is it Insta girls or Insta models? I saw the coinage. Insta models. These girls wake up early in the morning. They live in their boyfriends or parents' basements. First thing they do, they just take pictures. Take pictures. They have the best lights. They have the best cameras. They don't they don't have money. It's just the equipment, and they keep taking and constantly with consistency. They just keep growing and growing. Before you know what's going, and I tell you, I've seen this happen on Instagram. Before you know what's going, 6 months, 7. As long as the person starts developing tone bodies, then if it's a lady, guys start coming after her and taking care of her, paying her. You just see this girl that was from nothing. All of a sudden, she. I'm not saying maybe she slept with anybody. Some of them they will never meet their helpers, but just the fact that you are giving them a fantasy that they just want to be seen, then they become rich overnight, and droves of girls are into this thing, and this is part of the things that gave birth to things like is it OnlyFans? OnlyFans, because a lot of people think that OnlyFans started with the concept of porn. No, there were people who were cooking that OnlyFans was like Patreon before. So if anybody wants to see you cooking, they go. If they want to see you doing fitness, they go there. But now, as soon as the porn artists saw this, they broke away from the original deals or companies and started doing their own personal OnlyFans. So there's too much to protect your kids from. I just maybe as we go along, I'll keep remembering because before the show started, I had so much in my head, but maybe as we go
We'll
along, I'll
come
just
back
keep
to you.
remembering.
We'll come back to you. Something you said reminded me of a story that blew my mind recently. Apparently, some people are getting a specific kind of plastic surgery
Oh, okay.
whereby you look good in selfie. Because if somebody's taking a picture of you versus you taking a picture of yourself, sometimes the angle is not flattering. Like to make your nose look big, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So can you imagine getting the kind of plastic surgery that makes selfies make you look good? That means that in real life, it's not enhancing your look. If anything, it's making your look worse. Because the way you take a selfie distorts your face. But you changed your face so that you look good in a selfie, even though it may not look good in real life. Because so many people have attached the idea of making money to being an influencer. And these how things are interconnected in life. We have now built a society where in the West, in the rich countries, the only way you can sustain yourself is to do STEM, to be an engineer or a developer or scientist, or to be shaking your ass or being an influencer or playing ball. There's just no many options. And it's the same thing in Nigeria. How many people do we know that study this, study that, and then they'll do DJ, they'll do tailor, they'll do, you know. So this isn't just that people are vain and making bad choices. People are hungry and they're trying to look for ways to make money. And I'm just going to say one more thing.
Yes.
It's not necessarily related to this topic, but something you said about girls getting rich doing these things. A lot of times this is also exaggerated. Just like the looks are exaggerated, the money is exaggerated. Girls, nobody's gonna tell you that I fucked that man and all he gave me was, you know, 500. They're gonna exaggerate. So a lot of young girls are not aware of that sometimes. They'll see these run girls, they'll see these social media influencers, they look like they're living a life. And a lot of it is a lie. Because no one can come out and admit that, fine as I am, this is all they're giving me. Oh. So women tend to exaggerate. Not that that matters that much, but I just start throwing in there.
It's funny you say that because I was watching a podcast. Was it today or last night? When was it? It's Abba and Preach. It's these two funny guys, Abba and Preach. One is an Ethiopian, the other one's a Haitian, but they are
I've
Canadians.
seen them
So
before. They're funny.
yeah, it's the way they analyze their reaction videos that actually make me laugh. So there was this lady. She's an IG girl, right? I've forgotten her name. Apparently, she's popular. That's why they featured her story. So she's popular. So there was this first clip on her IG that she was like, "Look at me, I'm beautiful, I'm godlike. All of you that are godlike like me, step out there." She was just pumping her followers and herself ego. They said that they were godlike, that men who fall over them and all that. So fast forward to the current frame. She was crying that she dated this white guy. That the white guy met her on the social media. They talked. The guy made her feel special. Then he slept with her the first time. The guy never returned the calls or anything. So when she didn't hear from him for a while, then she called him again. I said, "Oh, that what happened?" Oh, the guy said, "Oh, I've been so busy." Then the guy said, "Ask her again. I couldn't meet her. He will sleep with her again." This foolish girl agreed again. So the guy came and slept with her. So eventually, eventually, what happened was that when when the guy she started bothering the guy on the phone, the guy called her and said, "Listen, when I saw your Instagram, you really look great, but after meeting, I don't think you're the kind of person I'm looking for." After, oh God, it didn't really damage that ego. She was crying like a baby. But the thing that made me laugh,
I think she was
the
honest.
thing that
Not
really made
everyone not
everybody
sorry.
laugh was the fact that, eh? No, yeah, but the thing that made everybody laugh was the fact that she was trying to be godlike. Like she said, "Who will see this ass and not follow me?"
I'm not
That was what she was
following.
saying. And it's funny. We're all laughing. What happened was funny, but just think about because this guy had like 30, is it 60 something thousand, or 100 and something thousand followers. Just think of all the brainwashing damage she has done to a lot of gullible young girls' psyche,
With that nonsense,
and she was
yeah.
just crying like a baby.
Yeah, it's sad because young
Can you
girls they get
can you
easily
hear me?
lured.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when I saw it, I was just laughing and laughing and laughing.
You know what? I'm gonna drop off and drop back on. The delay is too much. It's getting on my nerves.
And
It's confusing me.
sorry, you were
The
saying
the
something.
the delay on my phone, it's a bit much. So I'm just going to leave and come right back. If that's okay.
Okay, you can leave and come back. Okay. Okay. So before she comes back, like I was saying, I was laughing. It's not like I was enjoying the girl's misery or whatever. Sad as the position where she found herself, a sad position. It's just that, like I said, the internet is a dangerous place, like really a dangerous place. At least we thank God that she came online to cry. Can you just imagine if she decided to, keep it to herself? Am I still delaying? Am I still delaying?
It's a bit, but it's not as bad as it was before.
Okay. So
No, it's just as bad. We have to just live with it.
I think it might be from my own side because I'm
Not
watching it on my TV.
necessarily.
Okay, because I'm trying to see if it's from my TV. And by the way, I'm not, just in case you want to know, this is not a real backdrop. It's a green screen.
Oh, really? I was just about to say, I love that you're fine.
No. It's a green screen. I just figured out how to do it. I just figured out how to do it, and
Oh, yeah, that's true. We used to do
yeah,
those.
yeah. So I decided to put it up. So, like, yeah, I was laughing. I was laughing at her, but the thing is this: we thank God she came. She came online to cry, right? At least she has gotten it out of her system. And I'm sure hordes of those girls on her following list will comfort her later. But now, this is for guys too. You have, now, for guys now, you see young men who display wealth, questionable wealth. And on the surface, it looks harmless. But if you go back home, you will now see little younger boys, younger men aspiring to be that at such tender age, like 17,
Oh
18,
yeah. Oh yeah.
19.
Yeah.
And there are no, and the society is funny now because we no longer have people who can come up and say, okay, this is wrong. Uh, this is wrong. We are not going to accept this. We must try and do right, you know. We don't have anything like that anymore. So it's worrisome. Either ways you look at it.
Wow. You know what? That's such an excellent point. Honestly. Bless you for bringing it up, because a lot of times when we talk about this, we only really talk about girls and sex and image and safety, but we do not talk about influence on our boys and what it looks like to be a man in the society.
Trust me, I will talk.
Like,
Trust me, I will
I
talk.
could write a whole thing just on this. I'm glad that you already mentioned it. People like Hush Puppy. This is how they're created now. Cabana's behavior. This is where they get it from. And this is the thing with social media. Like, unlike magazines, which have always been with us, luring us into this lifestyle, I think the social media it has algorithms that are written to manipulate us psychologically. So we're now in a position where they're not wrestling against flesh and blood. It's not a man just push it down. It's now something that is beyond normal human being's power.
Yeah, when you look at it, you see, like I said, everything ended with the magazines back then. But now it's beyond that. When you see this young man doing conspicuous consumption, like displaying wealth and all that, making it look like it's easy. And the truth is that it didn't start from Africa, it started from Hollywood. We didn't wake up and start behaving like that. This is an acquired behavior. When you watch your favorite rapper wearing gold chains like the kind of chains that they're going to use to ban Satan after judgment. That's the type that they're wearing. I'm like, these things, are they not weighing you down? I personally don't like jewelry, not because of anything, but I just feel stressed. Then you just wear these heavy chains, you know. How do you move about your back, your neck? Is it not affecting you? And these are real quality gold, white or yellow.
I don't like to say things like this because it feels like we're insulting African Americans, which I know is not your intention, but that's how it come off. And that is wrong. That is wrong because a lot of times things like the obsession with jewelry is their way of clinging to a culture that was snatched out of their hands. But the world is really a complex place, and these things are interrelated. Because what's been happening is that people who tend to be oppressed create amazing art out of that hurt and that oppression. But sometimes the things that they're expressing are not positive. I'm a Black person. I have followed the plight of African Americans since the beginning of time. I love them. I really feel for them. But some of the shit that they put in the atmosphere is just absolutely awful. It's extremely misogynistic. It's derogatory to women. They're homophobic. They're overly conservative when it comes to religious matters, but at the same time, there's things like rape in the community, pedophilia that we can't talk about. So we have our own issues. And the fact that we're so influential in the art area is something that worries me, honestly. I mean, I love hip hop, I love the lifestyle, but even as an adult, I have to sift through it. I have to say, okay, this thing that he said just there is nonsense. I don't know that I would have been able to do that at 13. You just accept everything they say when you're 13 now. Be singing nonsense and rubbish, and it's disturbing. And the other thing with young boys, and I'll give it back to you, Kayode, is obviously porn and the addiction. Somebody said something and it hit me like a fucking brick. Said that up until 100 years ago, most men only saw a limited number of women naked their entire life. The woman they married, maybe a couple of girlfriends before, or
that was me.
before we came up with
That was me
Playboy
last
and
week.
Hustler and all that. Now, men are plagued with millions of images of naked women their entire life.
And women are now weaponizing it. It's now being
What do
used
you
as a
mean?
weapon.
What do you mean?
Like societies where they say, there are societies where if you harassment can be defined, the distinction between harassment and mistakenly look is blurry. So if you're in an office environment, somebody walks past, maybe she's well dressed. Now I'm not talking sexually now, I'm just talking well dressed. She just passes and you just look, sometimes you can get carried away. You can be reported to be sexually harassing her with her eyes. And if and if a woman knows she has that kind of power, she might as well wear whatever she likes and get that effect. I'm like, oh, you are sexually
No.
harassing me.
No.
But it happens now.
This time I disagree with you 100%.
It happens.
The bigger issue historically has been that women really are harassed at work because men have more power. All those years of pinching your secretary's butt and touching people's breasts and talking to us anyhow. I mean, we have suffered in the workplace. And men can't even compare about that yet. Not yet.
I agree with you because I still feel that men are still getting used to seeing women in their work environment. When I mean, it's not too long. It's not even up to 100 years before ago women started working with men. So I think it hasn't sunken in yet. It's still a gradual process, but they will get there eventually because more women are into corporate jobs. More women are going into.
If you will indulge me, allow me to go off topic just a little bit. Men are
I'm going to bring you back. Okay. I'm not going. I'll take it for that because I've seen something like that in real life, so I won't really argue about it. I've seen it happen. So I'll be honest and I've seen the harassment happen.
It does happen. That's how it was historically. It's got much better. Much better. And I'm not trying to say that there aren't women who are going to try and set up a guy. Yeah, they are, but they're in the minority. When we think about women working globally.
I'm thinking about set up as in trying to get somebody into jail or something. When I say weaponize, like you have the power and you know what you can do to get her attention and you do it and you get that response and you feel like a boss when the person is like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Yeah. Then you like, don't try it again.
Maybe that's an African thing. Maybe that's an African thing. There's a lot of that going on in the West. Anymore. And that's part of why I left Nigeria. Because I knew that you have to sleep with lecturer, you have to sleep with your boss, if you're a pretty girl, they will never leave you alone. It doesn't matter how good you are, how smart you are, they want sexual things. I mean, it's bad in Africa. You guys are way behind everybody else when it comes to things like this. And I don't think that a woman can successfully get a man in trouble in Nigeria, in Africa, over these kinds of issues.
Things are changing. Things are changing.
The bigger issue I find with men and women at work is that men in real life are nice to women, especially women at a reproductive age that are dateable. They're only nice to us. Women don't buy men free drinks. Men offer to buy us free drinks all the time. They offer to
everywhere.
help. They're nice in normal society. But in a workplace, they turn into devils. And the reason is simple. In most men's minds, you are here because you want to be, not because you need to be. You probably have a father or some guy who's willing to do shit for you. Nobody's willing to do anything for me. And you're here trying to compete with me. So they're brutal in the workplace. This is my experience.
I know.
They are not nice. They're competitive. They will backstab you. They will. That's my experience of them. Way more than that. Somebody was trying to hit on me or pinch my bum or anything. But this is just my personal experience. I'm also in a male-dominated field, so maybe that's why.
Abby, unmute your mic.
Yeah, I said I was going to say that maybe because you're in the male-dominated field, it's going to be different.
They're going to frustrate her out.
Yeah, so you don't experience that. You find
not at workplace. Like I don't think it was for me. I think I get more harassment from women. Really, not sexually, but yeah. But yeah, always
you feel like women are more competitive, more likely to sabotage you, undermine you.
Yes, they're more competitive, and particularly if you're black and all that, they want to. They see themselves as like, okay, I'm at the ladder, you are the ladder. We are competing for one thing, and then if I get it, we can push the ladder away so that no one else can in. So that's the way that they see it. That's the way that they see it most times. Yeah. And for the male, I don't know. My workers have lots of maybe white dominated and maybe Asian. They are always in their cubicle trying to be like. So that's why I said maybe in your field, which is more into tech and all that, there will be more male, and you'll be wondering what's this female. They're supposed to be somewhere else, and you are there to take their job and all that. So it's kind of different. I think from my sector of what I do, it see it as how will I put it now? It's more or less for the white folk, and we the black people out there, we're like, we should be grateful that we've got
right. And there are very few spots. So now, whether you're black or you're women, you're not fighting for these few spots.
You're not fighting for it. When you get there, they will be like, okay, what have you done? What qualification have you got? Right. And when and once in a while when I want to show off myself, I'm like, I'm not your competitor, you see. Like, I've done loads of things. So I'm not your competitor in any way. Like, really? You want to compete with me? I'll be like, I've done this, I've done that. Oh no, you've got loads of experience. I'll just do this to them, like, because the aim was not to tell them what I've actually got. The aim was just make them just sit down. I'm not your competitor. You just find another person to compete with. So, I think that's what I have experienced. And as for the men, I think sometimes when it comes to the women, I think they take some things personal. Like, colleagues at work just look at me to say, "Oh, Abby, you're mad." And for some weird reason, I know they don't mean I'm mad like I'm a mad person. But because the white person, if you say that you're mad, I wouldn't see it as it's kind of insulting me. And if I say like if I use somebody said to me, "Oh, Abby, I heard there are corrupt leaders." Like, "Oh, tell me more about Nigeria." I heard there are corrupt leaders in Nigeria. I said, "Are there not corrupt leaders everywhere, including this organization that we're working?" And we was like, "Oh, don't start that." I said, "Well, you started the conversation." I said, "I can admit to it that they were corrupt leaders, but I could also admit to it that they lent it for some people. Does the idea of colonization mean anything to you? So they are the masters. They taught us how to do this, and we are doing it a bit better." And then, I could see all his face was going red. I was like, oh, can you calm down? I don't mean no disrespect. This is just a conversation. And then, we were still talking, no raised voice. Everybody was in the same low tone. That was like, oh, it was just a normal conversation. But I know it's not normal. I know he was just trying to pass, a very subtle, whatever to me. And I was like really ready to like, okay, you know what? So I think it's all about knowing the set of people. I made my rules, make them know that okay, I can let go some things, but I know the rules. I read all the rules of the organization before tendering anything. Like, okay, according to this is that, and they know majority of us will read, so they exploit all of those things. So male female for me, maybe my height is always up there, and I just look at them. Most of them are they're very clueless, so they're not my cup of tea.
Well, for what it's worth, let me just add that scientifically, what I was saying, I just want to put some science here, and then we can move on. There was actually studies conducted, and they found out that, like, for example, men would take credit for work that they didn't do. So if you go up to a man and you say, Sheung, well done on that job, and he knows nothing about what you're talking about, he's gonna be like, yeah, sure, no problem. But if you say the same thing to a woman, she'll be quick to tell you, no, I didn't do it. It was people that did it. The other studies show that for all male academics decide themselves like 50% more than women decide themselves. So women need to be humble. That works against them a lot in a work setting. But we're going off topic, so sorry, Kylie. Back to you.
Hello? Is this your school thingy? I know that already.
No, it's called a general salute for generals. You know, he just did his birthday, so we didn't sing happy birthday for him on the show.
I know now because I was greeting him. He refused to answer me. I was saying whatever I said on public.
I answered you.
You didn't answer me like you understood what I was greeting you for.
You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
Abby, I'm only protecting you when you ask those questions. If you ask questions when I can't answer, why is the thing back to me?
Check your echo cancellation and check your setting. Go to echo cancellation.
I'm feeling that way as well.
Go to your echo cancellation. Go to your audio, and there's an echo cancellation. Select it.
It's selected. No?
Okay, Happy, check your phone. Happy, check yours. Can you still hear it? Can you still hear the echo?
No, only when I talk. Oh, so it's going to somebody and something out.
So I'll make sure you don't have any browser. Make sure you don't have any browser. Make sure you don't have a browser open showing the same program.
I don't know. Let me check.
Check YouTube
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook. So mute it there.
Let me close everything. Or maybe I should wear my head.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes if your system is so close, it bounces.
It never done that.
Where's Happy? Happy's gone. She was supposed to tell us what she thinks about the topic. Meanwhile, Bumi, you can click the like button on YouTube.
The like button on YouTube.
Like button.
Oh, if I'm hearing myself, then it's not me.
Okay,
So you want to hear? A funny story,
a
kind
funny
of.
story, kind of.
Okay, okay, sorry. Who was it again?
Yes, I do. But let me mute myself.
Have you checked have Bumi, have you checked your echo cancellation?
Yeah, it's on. I switched it on and off,
Okay, I think
and
we
it
should
didn't
all
make a
mute and
difference.
okay. Ogaka,
It's on. I switched it on.
okay. So Ogaka, I think you can tell us. You can tell us what you think about the topic.
Unsupervised children, right? So just repeat the whole thing now, just so for the sake of those who watch from
Okay,
here.
okay. Just for, yeah, we're talking about allowing children to be exposed to. Okay, so Abby will start first, then since she's back. So the
Okay.
topic is about kids who go on social media, underaged kids who go on who get exposed to the social media. We're trying to highlight the dangers because most people think because it's on the internet that there's nothing wrong that can go there's nothing that can go wrong, but we've listed a number of things like body shaming, cyberbullying, luring kids for rape and rituals, and those kind of stuff. So I just want okay, Abby came in first, so she didn't have the opportunity to chime on it. So Abby, let's have your own perspective, then we'll go to Kayode.
I think it's just
So you
educating
have the floor,
them.
Abby.
I think it's just educating them. Can you hear me?
It's
I
like
can hear
Yeah.
you.
I think it's all about educating
I
them,
can.
letting them be aware of it. We can't stop them from using it, but I think before they start using it, they just need to be aware of the danger. I don't know. I'm feeling that my phone, whatever, is still echoing.
No, we can hear you. It's fine. No echo.
I am hearing the echo though, but all right.
Okay. So
Okay.
and so that's what I would say really. There's quite a lot of things, but I think for me, the way that I speak to my ones, it's not just about telling them the danger. So don't do this because it's dangerous. No, we need to talk about the consequence in full details. Like, okay, say for instance you are there. How do you use it? What names do you use? How do you protect yourself? Do you put your name there? Why do you put your name? Why don't you put your name? What are the dangers? The things that you put on social media today, do you know, no matter even if you don't put your name, someone can search it and then link it to you. And that could be something that could affect you in the future. Have you heard of catfishing and things like that? So we talk about it in detail. So it's not like a biblical or religious term when we're like, okay, thou shalt not do this. No, if I do it, what happens? So that's my stand. What happens? Why should I not do it? What are the consequences? What are the pros and the cons? Does which one weigh a bit higher or which one weighs lower? And if you do it, why like for instance, my daughter will ask her, why do you want to come on Facebook? To do what? To share my friend's post or to write something or to post my picture or to and if you want to post your picture, do you think where is the best platform? What's the essence of it? Or you just want to be there? Okay, to do what? Okay, but let's just make decision and be conscious of what decision you're making. That's all. That's my major thing. But we can debate that for all. So it's always a question of us having this round table where we discuss why you should do this, why you shouldn't. And if you say, oh, this is what I want to do, why do you want to do it? There's no need to hide about it. What I don't like is when people don't want to, when you're saying something, you can't do this, you can't do this, but you're not giving reasons why they can't do it. So at the end of the day, they will do it and it might be a danger. That's my stand, really.
I
Okay.
like that.
The question I would like to ask you, the question I would like to ask you is, what if the child is below 14 years? Like, I'm really concerned about the underage, the really underaged one. I know you can't
For
stop
me,
them.
yeah,
If you
but
had
for
your way,
me,
would you throw somebody?
no, age is just a number. Okay.
If you had your way,
Some
would control somebody that?
So if I have my way, what should I do? Sorry, I didn't catch that. If I have my way,
I didn't really hear
Yeah,
that
if you had
last
your
of that
way,
either.
would you control? Okay, if you had your way, would you control a child under 14 years old from watching, or you just advise the child and allow the child participate on the internet, on
I
social
will
media?
advise
Sorry.
the child. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about teenagers here, which are like maybe from 13 or maybe 10, maybe preteen, maybe 10, 11, and all that. Now, you can't control them from using the internet, unfortunately. Most of their own works and things like that, they are on the internet. So, and that's why educating them about the dangers of using internet and what, how to close whatever that they have opened. Why are they opening, like some sites, they go on it and it will advertise so many horrible things, how to control such things, depending on their understanding. So I've got kids who have different learning abilities. So because of that, I could allow my 10-year-old, maybe another 10-year-old of mine to do certain things, and another one I might not allow her until she becomes 14. So it depends on what I could see in them to say, oh, this person has the capacity. But it's not a one-time education. It's something that has to be continuous. So for me, age is just a number. I will talk to them as often about it before they start going on it. And by that, I don't mean internet like checking Google and all that. I don't mean YouTube, which I still control in my house, but I mean social media.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's a nice one. Okay, let's hear your own perspective. At least you read where we're coming from. So the topic is centered around it.
So, what age is key to my approach? Because are we saying preteen? What's underage now?
What's your biggest concern with it?
What?
When
saying
it comes to kids on social media, what's your biggest concern?
No, because
I'm saying,
yeah.
I'm saying it's not about the age of the child, it's about the intellectual ability of each child.
Because the kids, right? The kids are smarter than we were at their age.
That's what I mean.
That's how I see them. So, which means that when I go back in time, as an 8-year-old, I understand what I knew. And so I already see an 8-year-old as smart enough to understand certain things. So let me tell you what I did. While I did not try and stop them, I placed the only computer that had internet access in the living room so that anybody walking past can see what you are doing. Simple. And then I was able to also check to find out if somebody watched porn. I had 2 boys. They are now men.
That's a bit invasive.
What? Is what? What? Invasive?
It's allowed, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you say invasive? Inside my house with my own internet that I'm paying for.
Is it not his own dick? Can a person not talk to his own dick?
Yeah, so I want to know how much porn they are watching when I'm not around and they're supposed to be reading. So if they know it's invasive, they should tell me with their own two eyes and mouths that they watched that is invasive. Then let us see the meaning of invasiveness.
Well, what are the dangers? See?
No, I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. Honestly speaking, I wanted to know everything we did online. Because I think that because I think it's better to actually know that they are going there so that you can explain than to say you should not go. That's my approach.
All right. I don't want to judge anybody's parenting.
Yeah. No, it's just a strategy. It's
smart, actually. I like it. They put something in a public spot things. Like when my kids were younger, I would not allow them to have a TV in their room. It's good, but it's the thing where you said that you're checking what sites they went to. That's invasive. And African parents are bad at this. They do not give children personal boundaries. They act as though every aspect of them belongs to us.
Yeah. Because
we jerk off.
because
We say it's okay for you to jerk off.
because
But
it's my
these Africans,
because it's my problem. It's my problem when it becomes a bigger thing. That's why.
But that's anyway.
So, for example,
So
if I
having said something that I really like, and it segues to what Kaida was saying as well. My personal feeling is that a lot of parents are very lazy, and especially African parents. When it comes to deterring certain behavior, we would rather scare you, censor you, lock you up, take things away, rather than educate you and trust you to make good decisions, right? So, for example, when we're hitting puberty in Nigeria, they don't sit us down and say, hey, you know, sex is a good thing, but it's bad for you at this age. This is what I told my daughter. I told my daughter, I love pork chops. Pork chops are delicious. Pork chops is like a slab of pork with bone in it. And but you wouldn't feed it to a baby, because it was important to me that I don't fuck up my daughter's attitude towards sex, which happens a lot in Africa as well, because we cannot be bothered to explain things. Instead, we scare the shit out of girls, but not boys. We scare the shit out of girls about sex. And then we expect them to magically be comfortable with it years later. So I wanted to avoid that by never vilifying sex and never telling her that sex is a bad thing, but trying to explain to her that something can be good, but not good at a particular age, right? I took my time, and I'll try to blow my own horn here, but I took my time to explain to them why sex is bad when you're a teenager. Because what we notice is that older people often forget how they feel when they're younger. And so I loved it when Kaida said that he remembers who he was when he was 8. He remembers how he thinks. Most adults don't. They completely forget. And so they forget the overwhelming emotion of sexuality when you're a teenager. They expect them that overwhelmed with feelings that they know overwhelmed with, and with less sense than you have to make the same good judgments that you make. And deep down we know they can't. So instead we lock them up, we beat them up, but what we never do is actually educate them as to why you shouldn't do this. So I don't have to be there. I don't want to be following you around everywhere you go, watching everything you watch. I want to just give you the information, the real information as to why it is that it's not a good idea for you. And then you make a sensible decision instead of me policing you. And social media is a game changer. Because again, as Kaide highlighted, sometimes the kids are better at it than us. I mean, I'm a developer and my kids still run rings around me. I still have to be calling them, hey, what happens to this remote? And these people that you're going to be trying to censor, they know how the technology works better than you. So it's really going to force parents to do exactly what Hadi was saying. Don't just take the internet away. Because again, as I said earlier, technology is weird. It always is a double-edged sword. It's good and it's bad. My Instagram feed is like a spring of water for me because of the people I follow. I follow spiritual people. I don't fucking follow Kim Kardashian and people who are going to make me feel bad about my life. I follow the History Channel and National Geographic and all that. And I just learn or read something that will boost my mood. So technology can be used for good or for bad. I've learned so much on the History Channel that I would never read in a book, for example. And the same is true for our children. So we can't take it all away. Rather, what we should do, what Habi suggested, which is educate them on every aspect of it. You know, when it's dangerous, how you trust a source, and especially, and this is the real point I was trying to make, is that most adults don't even understand how algorithms work, how it psychologically manipulates us, the dopamine that spikes when you get a like. We're not aware. So how are we going to teach teach our children about things we ourselves don't understand. That's what I meant by it's dramatic to say it, but it really is. You're wrestling not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. It really, it's not normal. It's not like self-control. Like, okay, just stay off Instagram. No, it's like an addiction. It's sparking things in your head. A young person cannot fight that. So, and the way to do it is not to take it away from them, but they'll go on some other ways to educate them. And that means that we ourselves first have to understand it. And we tend to be very, very lazy about things like that.
So what I do sometimes, when I write some things on Facebook, as controversial as sometimes, if I want to, when I write some things, I show it to them. I say, look at what I wrote. And they look at me, they said, why? Mommy, why? Anyway, we know that you always write that. So all I'm saying is that I can be anything, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't know who your brother is. So I've always told them, I'm not the best mom. I'm not the smartest mom. I'm not the dullest mom. So I'm not one of those moms that will say that they are the first in the position all their life. I'm the one that will make mistakes. I'm the one, just so that they can lead. So when I fail things like exam, I'll say, you know what, I've just failed this exam now. And they'll be like, oh, Mommy, it's okay. I think I've done something like that. I didn't do well. But you know what, in the end, it was okay. So it was like failure is part of life. Not doing things right is part of life. So let's talk about those things and let's learn from it. So what have you done on Facebook or on internet? My daughter, I said, oh, I don't want you to go on Facebook. I said, there's nothing to learn there, but be my guest, go and check it. And then she signed up for, I don't know which on Facebook, and said, oh, Mommy, I don't like it. I don't like it. So I said, okay, what about Twitter? So this is me pushing, saying, go and have a look. Go and have a look. And what about Twitter? Like, I follow some people. I said, maybe you need to follow more clever people. The people you're following, maybe they're not. I said, oh, really, I'm not really getting, like she was taking her time to say, okay. I said, what about go to LinkedIn? So at the point, I just backed off. And when I backed off, and the next thing I was going to hear was that she had 3 different blogs that she was writing, and she had followers. So I was like, the child in my house. How? When? How did you start? When did you start writing it? She said, I can only show you 1 or 2. I can't show you the 3rd one. I said, what are you writing in there? So I never write anything that will put you in trouble. He said, no, it's nothing that will put you in trouble, but it's not for adults. So you can imagine if I'd not say things. So when I'm watching movies and they're watching movies and they're showing something, I would say maybe not age appropriate. They'll be like, oh, Mommy, you know what? We upped it. We upped the TV because we don't want to watch that. That's not for us. And I'll be in my head. I'll look back. I'll be like, hey, that's not for you. So, Mommy, can you forward this? Can you forward? And the only reason they are doing all that is not just because I'm there, because I've seen when I am not there how they do it. So if you don't educate them, then you just be like, okay, they won't let you know the real them. And then you come back, they will show you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
And tell you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
And I'll be like, I don't mind you do anything. Just let me know. So I told my daughter, said, the day you want to start drinking alcohol, let me know. I'll buy it for you. And she's like, Mommy, are you joking? No, I don't want it. I said, no pretense here. Let me know. I'll buy it in the shop. And I'm thinking one Nigerian friend is looking at me. Go for it. I received message. So that's
okay,
it.
but I'm curious for the guys, because when we talk about social media and we talk about teenagers, we're always focused on girls because we know how damaging things like Instagram can be to their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves. But we don't talk a lot about boys and porn and this new age where they're seeing things their fathers never saw. I mean, I'm curious how the guys. I heard a horrible story the other day. I was like, Ron. I was in the dark corners of the internet somewhere when some guy told some weird ass story about how when he was a teenager and he was going through puberty, that age where boys are just constantly jerking off. So everybody in his house was out, and they had a pool. So he went to the pool and sat at the bottom of the pool because there's a suction at the bottom of the pool that feels good when you sit on it. It feels good on your anus. and intensifies the orgasm. Long story short, this guy's intestines were literally pulled out by that thing. Your intestine is about 38 inches long. He only has like 8 inches of it left. He said he's the same body weight he was when this accident happened when he was 13 years old. But the real surprise was that apparently thousands of people die from this accident every year, which is boys at the bottom of the fucking pool jerking off. I'm worried for boys. Seriously, like puberty is very, very challenging for boys in ways that girls don't seem to understand. But in this age of social media, is that making that worse? We also hear that millennials are having less sex than we did, and people are getting desensitized. How do you guys feel?
I think that the pool listen. I think they made some they made adjustments to some manufacturing policies, especially in the US.
Oh, you heard that story too?
It's been going on even before internet. I heard it as a child. You know,
oh
now
my
they
God.
No, I think the new I think it's a new law. They put this kind of mesh on the hole as if it's to filter out dirt. But I think the whole idea was so that people won't stick stuff into it again.
Jesus Christ.
So they just put that mesh there so nothing can go through.
Okay, but my general point is that boys have puberty, like, and insanity.
I think the general
social media exacerbate that.
I think the general conception about why girls are more protected than boys is just the thought that no matter what a guy does, he's most likely not to bring an unwanted child or unwanted pregnancy to the world. So that's the mentality behind it. Because for a girl is always receiving. She's always at the receiving end, whether good or bad. Imagine an innocent girl, okay, just a girl, let me not use the word innocent. Imagine a girl sleeping with a boy, the two of you had the consent to sleep with each other. At the end of the day, the guy just stands up, wears his trouser, and continues with his life. The girl now gets pregnant and has to watch the kids.
Her life. It doesn't change.
She cannot manifest, you know, she cannot become what she's supposed to become. Meanwhile, the guy is busy going around like nothing. That's if he doesn't even deny the kid. He'll just go around and be. So I think that is that receiving end. You know, it's where
the cost is higher for women. So our society has always hyper focused on the women. But we know now as adults that in our marriages, we have problems. Women have issues being comfortable with sex. Men have issues being in long-term relationships with just one woman. Things like our cultural attitude towards sex, where anything is allowed for the boys, nothing is ever allowed for the girls. And then we now add social media to it. Isn't that going to exacerbate these kinds of problems? Do men even think about things like this? Like when you're raising boys, do you think, I want this boy to have a healthy attitude to sex so that he can have a successful marriage and long-term relationship? Because I don't think men think about these things. I think men just say, go out there, fuck the most beautiful women. That feels like most men's dream for their sons. And when it comes to marriage, they don't think just have a job and be a decent guy. They don't think about things like, does he have a healthy attitude towards sex?
It's just like when people like Oprah come on TV and say to guys, let me be honest with you, and I'm telling you the simple truth. When women, and especially people like Oprah, who is soft-hearted, they come on TV and say, oh, that 14-year-old boy was abused by the older woman. And everybody in the crowd says, oh, you know, it sounds like one terrible thing, right? Yeah, on paper, it's a terrible thing that happened. In reality, boys don't care. Like, they really, really don't care. In fact, if you ever...
No, I don't agree with that, though. I don't agree that they don't care. Because they are not aware, because they don't understand the damage that is.
I'm still explaining it. Don't worry, I'll get to you.
Okay.
They really don't care. So imagine, like in a secondary school environment, they bring out a boy. And they say, we are going to punish this boy because he slept with an older female. And they flog him. Immediately they finish flogging the boy. Once he's walking to all his boyfriends will put him as a hero. I know he will become a legend from that day. Now, this is the thing. That experience has its own drawbacks, right? Like inability to communicate with younger women in future. Like you find it difficult to, you just
To
can't
woo
stand,
women.
not even woo. They will woo older women, but they will never ever have the time
They
for
might
younger
not be
women.
able to rule older women as well.
No,
Because
most
the,
cases,
the because the women that the woman that did that to them did not woo them. They didn't woo that woman. That woman wooed them. So they would be used to somebody coming to meet them rather than the other way
Yeah,
round or
that's what I
something
was
like that.
saying. But
madam,
Ron said no.
ladies, I be guy now. I know what I dey tell you.
So we
I
don't
went to,
agree. No.
I
We know
went to
that
a
you
body.
know. We just don't agree.
No, me,
I
I don't
agree.
know. I'm listening.
ayé ń retí
Oh yeah,
ẹlẹ́yọ̀
secret. We are
wọ́n
listening.
ń retí ẹlẹ́yọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ wọ́n ti múra mọ́
Unfortunately, I
láti.
don't know how to dance.
You guys don't let me talk. No, no, seriously, I'm being serious now. I know what the psychologists say. I know what they say on paper. I know, but the truth of the matter is, I actually went to a boarding house. I went to a boarding house all my 6 years in secondary school. I know how we behave when somebody comes and says this kind of thing, and I've monitored them. I've monitored them over the
Ron,
years.
Ron, can
Married.
I say something? Can I say something? I agree with you now when you say that you know how men behave. But at the same time, you are the same person. When we are telling you how women feel or how they behave, you won't speak to that. So you
No,
know
no, no,
both. You can know both. You can tell us how men behave now, even though we might counter that based
no.
on
Okay,
your experience. No, let me land. Your experience is just your experience, and it's not absolute. It doesn't mean that that's the way. Like if you put 100 people here, they will not just be working on that experience of yours. Some people will act differently.
no, nothing is absolute in life. There's always going to be exceptions.
Exactly.
We can
So
generalize.
when we say that we don't agree with us that we don't agree. Continue now.
Fighting you now. I'm not fighting you now. I'm just saying, in life, there's nothing that is absolute, and that is the
Okay.
truth. There's
Okay.
something where 2 plus 2 is 4. There are instances where 2 plus 2 will never be 4, right? Because something has happened. A
There's always
variable,
exception. Yeah.
something has tampered with, a variable has tampered with what is supposed to give
Mm-hmm.
us the right output, right? No, now what I'm saying it is that I always see women discuss it, especially when I'm in different platforms. You just see the way women sit down and talk about it, like, oh, that child is, wait, how do I put it in a nice way? I don't want to sound, let me play devil's advocate. Can I? Can I just play devil's advocate? I
Yeah,
don't
you
believe in
always
what I'm
do.
saying. I'm sorry, I'm not encouraging what I'm saying, but this is what really happens. While you're out there busy pitying the child and looking at him, sorry, sorry, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, we can.
You can't hear
We
me.
can.
I
I
can hear
can.
you.
We
We
Okay.
can
can.
hear
I
you.
can.
So, okay, okay. So the truth is, while women actually gather and see the child that was doing practicing at the age of 14, I'm like, a terrible thing has happened to this child. Like as if the child is going to die after that interview. In reality, the guy is just, the guy sees the experience as something that happened. Okay, let me tell you. While I was 14 years old, and this is a long time ago, I'm not 14 anymore. When I was 14, 15, I can give my right hand. You see this right hand? I can disconnect this right. They can cut my right hand as long as I am with Janet Jackson. See the age gap between me and Janet Jackson. Or Tony Braxton. I could give my right hand, let them cut it so that I'll follow them. You get what I'm saying? But it was when I became an adult, I noticed that people used to pity people like us who thought that way. Like, that we're endangered species. I didn't even know that anything was going on wrong, but as we became mature, I look at it from morality aspect. I don't look at it from psychological aspect. I know that morally it is wrong. I know that spiritually it is wrong. But I'm not endorsing the wrongness from a psychological view because personally I have not. I'm yet to see somebody who that thing damaged. You get where I'm coming from?
Wait. You yourself said there's
they overcome it. They eventually overcome it. It's not a lifelong problem. It's just something of adjustment. You're not used to talking to small kids. You're not used to talking to
a girl being. I mean, I don't think a boy being introduced but I don't think that it's either. I think they over like this that till today.
Jesus is Lord.
How many fans?
How do we hear this?
It's true now. Half of the Nigerian men were virgin. You know this. And even though that makes the kind of girls are very naive of us to on boys, it does. It's not a bad effect, but it will have an effect.
Yeah, but it's not the way you people look at it on Oprah and start crying.
Yes, they exaggerate.
Like Oprah, anything everybody like, then people start shedding tears. Oh, this guy slept with an older woman. Well, it was funny. And nobody talks about the French.
He's like a black, absolutely fine.
Yeah, but nobody talks about the French president.
Some guys better because older women have I just don't be the idea that it's completely harmless. There's no doubt it will have some effect.
Okay, can we agree that it has a certain delay? It delays a certain form of progress in the person's man-woman relationship development. So there's a delay.
Forever.
Somehow.
Forever.
No, I'm talking about guys now.
Can fuck girls up forever. But I agree, some boys
girls up forever.
Abby, what do you think?
I think it depends on individual. Okay, so maybe generally it might not really affect them, but we are still gonna like forever. But we are still gonna have people who are they're men in plain body, but in reality they are women, which will still affect them forever as well. And so I mean, and when it affects them, can people point out that this is their problem? Because sometimes it's like saying that a lot of people in Nigeria are mad, and people will be like, "Oh, that's insulted and all that." But have we had opportunity to test them? Somebody said there's no longer COVID in Nigeria. I said I agree, but when was the last time somebody checked themselves? So if you don't really have opportunity to test people or to ascertain that fact that this thing is happening to this person, just somebody misbehaving, just say, this person, I think his madness is worrying them in their family. But we won't say that there's a pattern. Maybe it's the same woman that is doing that manipulation to the rest of the family and did it to one child, did it to another, and all of them have the same pattern, and they are doing the same thing to their wives, and the history was repeating itself. They're like, it's village people and all that. But we are not doing any research regarding it. What's making this thing to be mad or something? Just like, okay, I think it's just normal. I think it's a man thing. I think it's a male thing. Lack of discipline is a problem. How did it start? I'm telling you, lack of discipline. It doesn't see. Most of the things that we do most times, if we look at it, most of them, not saying all of it, there is always a background to it. Even the way we are doing as individuals, there is a background to it, whether we want to take it or not. So why are we doing what we are doing? What happens is the experience, either the one that we have learned by other people or the one that we have personally experienced. That's what is informing, that's what makes us really. Maybe somebody said something to us like, so this is dangerous, or something has happened to somebody. Did we get, so somebody that did something, like what we are saying now, a woman did something to a man, right? But this man has never seen anyone, has never had time to sit down by himself. An average African person do we even have therapy? Do we do therapy? So who is going to analyze or diagnose this person unless they do something absurd that we know? So if they are not caught, they didn't do it. According to Ron the other day, anything that you are doing that you are not caught is not cheating. Anything that you are doing that you understand what I mean? So till we find out those things before we can say, sorry?
I was
What did
just
you
playing
say?
devil's advocate. I was just playing the
Yeah, but there
devil's
are people who
advocate.
are going to think, I agree with you, but there are people who are going to think that way as well. That's why you are, so I'm not blaming you for saying that, but I'm saying so many things that we do. It's just based on, something has happened, and then we are like, okay, somebody that got raped now, as a woman, got raped, that's going to affect her for the rest of her life. A man that got raped, you'll be like, oh, it doesn't really affect this person. But automatically in our family, something is happening. But because a woman is told, keep your secret. So this is your family house. So your husband is your husband. The woman owns the house. She will not say it out. So automatically, you're looking at the man outside. You're saying this is an angel. Nothing has happened to him, even though it was raped. Nothing happened. There is nothing. No one is connecting the dots. We are dogma like that. We put it to us, we program it, we just put it down like that. We are not thinking, trying to connect. This woman is doing this thing. Why is this woman is behaving to this man? What did this man do? Oh, this man will be like, I didn't do anything. It's not ask time to. That's why you see some people, is until when they separate or divorce or something like that, that's when they have time to think. Because it's a question of boy meet girl, girl meet boy, they sleep together, have one child, maybe have another one, like 3 or 4 children. They'll be like, okay, what are we going to do? So it's always problem before thinking, rather than the other way around. So if you are still living in that kind of mentality, we wouldn't know if those men are damaged forever or no. Right. Thanks to women that are started talking out. Men have not started talking out that much because they have to be man. They have to own up. They don't have to come out and be crying like a baby. Do you understand what I mean? So we don't know.
You are just spot on. The reason that, and I've always known that it causes, it's just that we have the kind of society that doesn't really care about the problem. But you are spot on. It is not benign. If we think about it, you see, women get into the world of sex and faster than men. They mature faster. We were banged up at 15, 16, 17 back in the day, right? Because we're ready to go. And we're done by then. But men are but they're supposed to enter very late in life. Lack of sex is supposed to be a huge right? Like it's looking that as so backwards. You see people, these men like 50 cows. One man has 50 cows and 50 men have 1 cow. That means the cows have all the wives and some men are angry. Convince them to join Boko Haram. This has been a plight to some men of time. They must really have no access to sex. Motivate them. Pull themselves up. So this idea that you're a young boy of blood, and then he grows up to become when he sees fucking connection. A lot of Nigerian men, they are lazy. They haven't lived up to still. I mean, we can already see it. We can already see the result of this early sex. And when I young teenagers, on the 10 from wealthy families. So the absolutely not only does it we're such a patriarchal society. Nobody cares that your man can't born yet. So it hasn't become a problem.
I also agree with you to some extent, because I think we need to start imbibing this culture of therapists, clinical psychologists. Their services are, because there's something we always say in Nigeria, that everybody's mad, and it sounds funny, but to some extent, some people need to be checked, assessed.
All of
Because
us, as a matter of fact, not even some people. The thing that has been done to us, majority of us don't even know it. That's the thing. So when we are saying things, the problem that we have is we always, as a Nigerian, we love the blame game. Where we see everyone as the problem and we don't see ourselves. So when we are blaming the government, you blame yourself. When you are blaming, because you are part of that government, you are brought up from the same system, you drink the same water. So the only thing that will make you change, if you start having critical thinking, if you sit down and thinking, this story or this thing that I've seen, what makes it different? What makes me different? Why do I want to become different? Other than that, we are all the same set of mad people. And I know someone is watching and saying, no, me, I'm not mad. There's only Abby that is mad. Thank you. But I'm telling you, we all need to be examined.
But there is a difference between men and women. And men experience puberty very, very differently from men and women. And men experience puberty very, very differently from men. And I feel like sometimes when feminism tries to take us in a direction where it wants to pretend that we're the same. Feminism tries to take us in a direction where it wants to pretend that we're the same. And it forces men to hide who they are, to hide their generation, and that does not help us in the long run. For us, feels this. But the topic of kind of Abby was talking about the issue of is problematic, and that's normal. That's natural. That's not part of the whole. Has consequences for women, but it does have consequences for women.
Well, Abby, say you like my room.
I love it, but I know that it's green screen.
Hello, Abby.
I know that it is green screen.
Why now? Oh God!
Because I heard it as I was coming in. I heard you telling me as I was coming in.
I just was wondering how you do.
But it was lovely though.
But this is, you know what? Now that you guys brought up some things, I'm just thinking. I'm just flashing back. While we were younger, and this was not even the era of computer. This is the era of video club, right? Our parents would just go to work. They are not at home, and we are already video club members. At least by the age of 14, I was already a video club member. Like I and my siblings. So there were times we would just go and we'd be like, oh, this guy's parents, nobody's around. Let's go to your house. No girls there. Or we are the older people here. Let's go to this person's room and go and watch this. So we go to the video club. We get somehow we manage to get these pornographic tapes and go and watch. And I'm now thinking back, and this was not even the age of internet. And I'm not even bragging that it's my generation. You can imagine how long this thing has been going on. We get this tape, and now we are parents now. We have to watch over our kids. And like I already said, he said that when you remember where you were then, and that thing he said made me start thinking, how young was I really at the age of 14? Was I doing 14-year-old stuff?
Exactly.
Because when you say 14, they sound so tender, so innocent, so untouchable. 14-year-old kids are not nice kids. And if you get down to the bottom of it, 14-year-old kids, and Abby said that age is just a number. I know 14-year-old kids while I was growing up, they were doing things 25-year-old people.
That's why I mean that we can't place it on 14. So we for all I care, depending on how mature the child is, you can even start at 7. If you see that child's brain is, like is overacting, you will not be waiting till that child is 14. You'll be like, okay, come on, let's sit down, let's talk. But that's what our parents were not doing. They were not doing that because they assumed that we are still innocent. And so we too, in our mind now, some of us are like to deny. You'll be like, oh, me, I'm innocent when I was growing up, and everybody is innocent, and you don't want your child to be innocent. No, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. My mom told me that my mom said, if you touch a guy, if I touch, she didn't say sleep, or say if I touch a guy, then I'll be pregnant.
You'll be a disgrace.
And then you do it. I'm like, okay, I've touched so many guys. I'm not pregnant. What's the confusion? And every little thing she gets angry, like, have you started talking to boys? I'm like, okay, I'm not, but now that you have said it, I'm even more curious.
It's terrible. One of my friends said that when she was in uni, a guy she liked, and like, I don't want to get. Was in fucking university, and she was that ignorant. And
Jesus is Lord.
This is success. They don't know nothing about sex. That's stupid. They've been innocent. It's not you winning. That's more like bad the kids that don't know anything. Educate your fucking. Stop being so uncomfortable discussing this.
Even as I'm digging again, I remember I had friends who looked old, like they were. I see them today. They looked how they looked when they were 40 years old. Like they were hairy, mustache beards. They were the only ones that could go to clubs. Though, and yes, they'll beat the security, go to club, then come back and tell us what they saw at the club. Yeah, they give us feedback. And these people were having relationship with older women. The women didn't even know that these boys were. I'm just thinking, 40 years is really not that innocent.
It's not.
It's really not that innocent, and that's the more reason.
Although your general point about a 14-year-old for puberty, that's complete. I mean, it doesn't happen to everybody. But when it happens to you, it feels the same way. So, if a 15-year-old boy, you have not why you'll be able to be different from a boy who is the hormones have been let loose. That's completely bigger than maturity. Of that.
And finally, like what personally, I'm just thinking, I'm just like, and Abby said age is just a number, and I'm beginning to agree with her 100% because there's so much things that are going through my head now. There are things I did as a teenager I can't even try it now, and this is why I believe that parents should start training as quickly as possible. They mustn't wait till they become 10 or 11 or 13. You're just fooling yourself as a parent if you're going to wait that long. I believe once a child you can communicate with your child and you know that your child can understand what the words that are coming out of your mouth, immediately start talking. Immediately.
You're spot on. Access to the like you have when they're 14. Like, come on, no, it is an ongoing conversation that they're forced. As a parent should make that topic age appropriate. So when they're they will first ask them to be when they're age, ask them each time, inform them more and more. But we tend to come from this culture that doesn't watch the and then when you hit 15 and then oh boy, I'm running war. I go there. I can't pretend.
Hey! I get me to me.
And the birds and that's it. I'm very lazy. And we are actually know the details. They just if you do it and get pregnant, oh my, don't come back. So we're not comfortable talking about sex without and Ron, I just love it. Not one conversation, ongoing conversation.
What do you think, Abby? What do you think is a good idea?
Idea for what?
To start that conversation as soon as the communication starts.
Well, it should. It's not as soon as communication starts per se, but as soon as you can see. And this is why every parent should know their child. So you know your child's intelligence capacity. In the UK here, they tend to do it by age. But because I've got a child that's got delayed in learning, so that's given me a different spectrum to learn, the different avenues to learn that, okay, it's not about age. It's about that child's capacity. Okay, so what are the child saying? What have those students saying about it? How do they listen? What do they like to watch? What are they showing some kind of feminine trait? Are they being unnecessarily overly conscious about the way they dress, about the way they do things? Are they fashion themselves as, I know certain things? You understand what I mean? And at that point, it's going to be like a normal conversation to say, oh, I like this dress. What are you wearing? Let's do this. Let's sit down. And then so it's not a formal warning, don't die, if you do this, you die kind of provocation. It's a very formal warning. If you see me talking about the Bible to my kids, you'll be surprised. Like, are you reading the same Bible? Because I wouldn't say, God said that if you do this, you will die. I said for every word in the Bible is for our own correction. So if you take it for yourself, you can try not to follow it. But I've seen that based on, a situation where we don't have any moral principles that is guiding us, people will fail, no matter what we try to preach. Preach energy, preach something else, say there is air that you believe in. Anything you believe in, you still have to have a certain kind of, no matter how minimal, something that is guiding your brain. Somehow, even if it's water, you want to follow anything, stone, animal, cockroach, but at least let that thing be, morally push you somewhere. So, and that's why you have to kind of like, okay, no one is saying don't do this. Like Bumi said, is it right for a teenager to start having sex? Is that the priority? If a child comes to you now that say, oh, they're probably gay or this is, I say, okay, that's not even a problem. But is that the conversation that is relevant with your age at this point? You can be whatever you want to be. You can whatever, but it has to be age appropriate. What would those things? What would happen if you decide to go that way? You watch whatever you want to watch. It's distraction. That's all. There's no need to define it. It's distraction. So the devil will come. Devil is going to do this. Devil will not do anything. The only thing that you'll be distracted and it's going to affect you the rest of your life. So why go abroad? Why force yourself to do something that you're not ready for at this point? So you're going to be ready. Somebody's asking where is Abby?
Abby's a little, she's overworked herself this week. She really, really overworked herself, and she's a bit under the weather. But I was hoping she would have joined us by now. But
yeah, we are sending out the love.
Yeah, she needs the rest. She really needs it. Yeah. I was virtually begging her. This was the first time I started begging her. Please don't throw me out there alone. Like she was like, were you not always hosting when I was going off camera? She said, don't host now. You cancel the show. She was like, when you're behind the stage, you cut behind the stage, then you're saying, sing. Like, are you sure I can sing in front of this crowd? The next, they just push you to the podium.
We really miss her.
Then you have to sing. That's exactly what Abby did to me today.
We really miss her, and because she's not here now. Kay is not here very often. He was just going off and on. I'm sure he's listening to me, be like, Kay, that's the thing that I did.
Because Abby isn't here. I really missed her today. But I saved because Abby wasn't here because I'm actually so tired.
I really missed her today.
The guy said I've been
Being dramatic. That's the whole point now.
I'm
Yeah,
not being
somebody has to
dramatic.
bring
It's
the
just that
drama.
before, and to be sincere with you, let me confess. When the show started, I didn't think about 14, 15 years old. My mind just didn't go there. I was just trying to think like a parent. It was when it was brought up, like, do you know what you were doing? I started remembering loads and loads and loads of stuff. I'm like,
And we always
14, 15, they are not just, we forget.
Not from here. We tend to forget.
And you know that this,
they are overwhelmed by
Not
emotion.
from here. We tend to forget.
and do you know something? You know that we're talking about girls being lured on the internet and all that. You know that some married women also hijack boys from social media.
Talk about married
This same
men.
social media.
Stop talking about women.
Yeah, it's
Some older woman was having sex with him when he was growing up.
was having sex with him when he was growing up.
Talk about married men.
Was he a bad person?
Married.
Was he a bad person?
This is why you
So
miss
you
me when
agree
I'm
with-
here.
But yeah.
So you agree with me now?
But yeah.
You see?
Yeah, I don't agree.
You see how these are people? No. Where's our hallelujah? Listen. Oh God. Sorry?
She can never agree with you. Just on principle.
Agree with you. Just on principle.
But every now and then that the spirit pokes her to confess that that's why I always play this.
Yeah.
I always play hallelujah for her. Every now and then the spirit pokes her, confess this guy did this, but me and Abby, we've always been like that. We've just been like, Abby is always on the defensive whenever I say things. And you know what we do on the show is nothing compared to what we do privately over the phone. Oh God. Sometimes, no, not even after our like private calls.
When you talk, yeah.
We yell at each other. After everything, somebody will just call the call, pop. Then like 15 minutes later, your head don't cool down. Are you calm now? So if you understand us, there was this day her friend, her best friend, Pam was in the house. We had this very, very heated debate. I know Pam is like a Jamaican, so she's not used to this, the way Nigerians argue.
Talk, yeah.
You know? So
we're fighting.
Abby was raising her voice. I was raising my voice, so she could hear my voice through the speaker of the phone. And she was like, "You could just hear that. Why are you guys fighting?" We kept telling her, "Hey, madam, chill. We need to discuss this thing." And you could just see that she was like, "I hope this will not break the relationship." I said, "No, this relationship is like silver cord. It's not breaking. We are just going to address this issue today." And at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I'm no longer interfering in anything that involves you guys. Mind your business, so.
That was fun.
Yeah, we're almost done. Unfortunately, we didn't know how to get to Candy because Candy is always reached by Abby, and yeah,
I think the issue, Ron, was that like Abby shares it on her page.
No, but it's meant to show on our page automatically. I don't know why it didn't happen today.
No, maybe if you didn't like the page, your page, like it will only show Abby's page, so that's why. And then I think Abby also put the StreamYard information on it. Like I was looking for it, I didn't see it.
Okay, you know what I'll do? I'm going to do what they call a link tree. That's link that gives all the option. I'm going to create a link tree for Mogolo Crini. So each time we have to do this, I'll just put out the link tree, then everybody will just click on it
Yeah,
and
that was
select.
it. That was what I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. I'm guessing maybe
I'll,
some people couldn't find
I
it.
will do that. And now that I know that me and Bumi, we are bound by IT now, we'll be discussing other IT stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Right.
Be
Yeah.
showing now. Yo,
Well,
both of you.
she's a developer, and
I know she just said it. Well, I know already because I follow on Facebook, isn't it? So
oh,
I follow Ola. Ola.
no, I
Well,
don't even think. Bumi, did you accept me on Facebook?
Yeah. Because I deactivated it ago.
Who is
she always
attacking
do
you?
that. Don't worry, she'll be back. She'll be back.
Tell us the cyberbully now. So let's put him on the
She'll
spotlight.
be back when she's back.
Help, but I'm tired of
Okay,
it.
no, it's not cyberbully, Sha.
So are you now on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, but I don't post a lot.
Okay, what's the handle?
Scotch
Oh God! Imagine somebody looking for you, looking for Scotch egg. I mean Scotch bun.
Maybe she even go there. Me, I don't go on Instagram as well.
I'm not really on Instagram. I was
Okay, okay. So now, okay, I think we've officially we've hit it. We've hit the 2 hours mark. It's about 1 hour 56.
we did it.
I survived it. I made it. Oh,
Survived. Tell Abby we just about
Abby is going to be proud of us. Abby is going to be really, really proud of us. But this is the thing. Okay, you know what? Once we go off, I just want to make quick announcement because I need certain details so that we can have this thing well structured. Okay, let me just finish with the show. So I think we finally, with what we've discussed today, at least with what we've discussed today, we can see that it's really, really important that we keep an eye on our children and supervise, at least at the early stages, we supervise whatever it is they are being exposed to, be it social media or the general internet. And what is more important is the fact that you as quickly as possible, develop a channel of communication where your children or child can always come to you to discuss everything. I'm not saying you shouldn't discipline, you can discipline, but at the same time, keep a channel open where that child can always run to you to tell you everything, things they are thinking about, things they've done, things they intend to do. So it's really, really important. That's why they say, rod and in that prayer, they said, the rod and thy staff will comfort me. One will cane, the other one will direct and steer you to the right direction. So it's always the key word there is relationship. Yeah, I know kids are different. Like Abby will say, individuals are different. I know kids are different. There are some kids that you don't need to, or just communicating with your eyes, they understand what you want. There are some kids you need to tell. There are some kids, it's just like they came from hell. They are just there to make your life miserable. But either way, just find a channel where you can communicate and stay. It might not be social media, it might be anything, relationship, it might be bullying, it might be threat to life, but keep up that channel where they can always communicate with you. So, but with that in mind, I would like to bring this show to an end, and I'm especially excited that I made it because I told Abby I'm not sure I will be able to sit and be coordinating to the end, but
honestly. I was here from
my
beginning
lady,
to end. Even I am proud of
Well
myself.
done.
yeah, and I'm sure you are doing it just to encourage me. Oh, I really
I
appreciate it.
was. If Abby was here, I would have bounced a long time ago.
I
Okay,
really,
that's
and
good.
I really and
You're
truly
welcome, love.
appreciate.
Actually, I had a good time. You guys were really on fire today. You said some
Me
very
too,
good
That's
things.
good.
and I also want to show my guys, people, that it's a green screen. Okay, can you see it's a green screen? It's
I Why do you have to show off? You are having a good, posh living room. You really,
I don't want people to
brother.
start. I don't want people to start calling me that. What happened?
You're
When did
so
this?
rich, brother. Enjoy your wealth. Show it off.
Amen. So with
Oh,
this now, we'll be, so everybody say bye in your own way. Abby?
bye, guys. You rock. See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye. Bye.